Welcome. In this video, we are solving a question on diode circuits from GATE exam. So, this is a very good question because here we are given three diodes D1, D2, D3, and it is asking what are the states of the three ideal diodes. So, it is given that these diodes are ideal. So we have to determine the states. So which diode are on, which diode are off. So I have taken only one option because this is the correct option, and we will prove it how. So if you see the circuit, so let's first talk about D3. Let's first talk about D3 because it is connected in parallel with this current source. If suppose D3 gets on, if suppose D3 becomes on, if suppose D3 is on, let me replace it by a short circuit. If D3 is on, then it is an ideal diode, so it will be replaced by a short circuit. Now the current is flowing in this direction, in the direction of the arrow which I have marked. So now you can see that the current is flowing from N to P through this short circuit. This is a short circuit, so current is flowing from N to P. The current is flowing from N to P because the diode was like this. The diode was connected like this. So if we can see that if this diode is replaced by a short circuit, if we assume that it is on and if we replace it by a short circuit, then the direction of current flow is from N to P. But we know that in the diode, the current can flow only from P to N. So because diode is a unidirectional device, so this assumption is wrong. So D3 always has to be off. D3, the diode D3 can never be on. The diode D3 can never be on because current can never flow from N to P. So the diode D3 will always be off. The diode D3 will always be off. Now we will talk about these two diodes D1 and D2. So let's assume, so in step first we assume diode D1 is on and D2 is also on. D1 and D2 are on. Assume D1 and D2 are on. So D1 and D2 are on, so they can be replaced by a short circuit. So let me redraw the figure. So this is 10 volt. This is 1 ohm. This diode is replaced by a short circuit. This on diode is replaced by a short circuit. Let's suppose current here, we can assume the current here as I1. This diode is also replaced by a short circuit. Let's assume the current here is I2. This is 1 ohm resistor. This is diode D3. It is always off. It can never be on. And this is your 5 ampere current source. We can draw this resistance as well, but it is in parallel with the short circuit, so there is no need to draw it. Uh, there is no need to draw it because it is in parallel with the short circuit branch. This resistance is in parallel with the short circuit branch, so we have no need to draw this. Okay, so let's first find out this voltage. This is ground. So this voltage, this is short circuit, so this voltage will obviously be 0 volt. So this current, let's suppose this current I, this current I will be equal to 10 minus 0 divided by 1, so this I will be equal to 10 ampere. This I will be equal to 10 ampere. 10 minus 0 divided by 1 ohm. So I is equal to 10 ampere. This I is equal to 10 ampere. Let's say this is I4. Okay, so this I is equal to 10 ampere, then this I4, this 5 ampere current is coming here. So I4 will be equal to I2 plus 5. I4 will be equal to I2 plus 5. I is equal to 10 and I4 will be equal to I2 plus 5. Now if we apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in this loop, then what we get is this voltage is 0, this voltage is 0, there is no resistance, so there is no voltage drop. I4 dot 1 ohm equal to 0. So I4 is nothing but I2 plus 5, so I2 plus 5 equal to 0, so I2 is equal to minus 5 ampere. So the current I2 has come out to be negative. The current I2 has come out to be negative. Now we assume that diode D2 was on. The diode D2 was on. If the diode D2 was on, then this I2 must be positive, but this I2 has come out to be negative. So our assumption for diode D2, our assumption that diode D2 is on is wrong. Our assumption that diode D2 is on is wrong. We cannot assume that diode D2 is on because the current I2 has come out to be negative. The diode current can never be negative, so our assumption that diode D2 is on is wrong. Now this I1, I is equal to I1 plus I2. So I1 will be equal to I plus I2, so I1 is 15 ampere. I1 will be equal to 15 ampere. So this assumption is right. I1 has come out to be positive. So we assume that diode D1 was on, and the current of diode D1 has come out to be positive. So this assumption is correct. So this assumption is correct. And if you want to find out this voltage VD3, VD3 is voltage across this resistance 1 ohm. So VD3 equal to I4 dot 1. I4 is I2 plus 5. So I2 plus 5 dot 1. And I2 is minus 5. So VD3 is equal to 0. So VD3 has come out to be 0. So obviously this assumption of our was right. The diode D3 is off. The diode D3 is off. So this assumption was right. So our assumption that D1 was on was right. Our assumption that D3 is on is right because VD3 has come out to be 0. So D3 is off, D1 is on. Both these assumptions are right. But we also assume that D2 is on, but that assumption is wrong because this current I2 has come out to be negative. So now in the second step we will assume that D1 is on and D2 is off. What we will assume is that D1 is on, assume D1 is on and D2 is off. So now what we are assuming is that D1 is on and D2 is off. So let me remove this. Now what we are assuming is D1 is on, D1 on, D2 off, and obviously D3 is off. So if D2 is off, then we can redraw this circuit like this. So let me redraw the circuit by assuming that D2 is off. So D1 is on, and now we have assumed that D2 is off. Now this resistance is, now this we will consider this resistance because this D2 is off. This is 1 ohm. D3 we have considered it to be off. This is 5 ampere current. Okay, so these are our, this is our circuit now. This is 1 ohm resistor, this is 1 ohm resistor. Let's suppose this is voltage VD2 and this is voltage VD3. Okay, so for diode D2 I have taken this P as positive, this N as negative, but for diode D3 I have taken this N as positive and this P as negative. Okay, let's say this current is ID for D1 diode which is on. This current will be 10 ampere because this voltage is 10 volt, this voltage will be 0 volt. And so if VD2 is less than equal to 0, then the diode D2 will be off. If VD2 is less than equal to 0, then the diode D2 will be off. And if VD3 is greater than equal to 0, then diode D3 will be off. If VD2 is less than equal to 0, then diode D2 will be off. VD2 is less than equal to 0, then D2 will be off. And if VD3, let me write this as big as well, is greater than equal to 0, then diode D3 will be off. So these are the conditions which will prove that diode D2 is on, that diode D2 is off and diode D3 is off. So this 10 ampere is equal to I plus ID. 10 ampere, let's say this current is um, let's say this current is I. So 10 equal to I plus ID. This is the first equation, that 10 ampere equal to I plus ID. And now this is 5 ampere, so this 5 ampere will come here. This 5 ampere will come here. So this current will be 5 plus I. 5 plus I. Now apply KVL from here to here to here and back. So I applying KVL, what we get is I plus 5 plus I is equal to 0, because this is I, current I through 1 ohm resistance, and 5 plus I through 1 ohm resistance, and they are in same polarity. So I is equal to minus of 2.5. So the value of current I is minus 2.5. Now VD3, so if now we can write the value of this current. This is 5 plus I, so this current is 2.5 ampere. This current was 5 plus I and I is minus 2.5, so this current will be 2.5 ampere. So VD3 is the voltage across this resistance, across which 2.5 ampere current is flowing. So VD3, I am writing here, VD3 will be equal to 2.5 volt, because current I is 2.5 ampere. The current through this resistance is 2.5 ampere. So VD3 is 2.5 volt. So VD3 is positive, so this diode D3 is off. We already know that diode D3 has to be off. Now VD2 is the current across this resistance. So I is minus 2.5 ampere. So minus 2.5 ampere is the current across this 1 ohm resistance. Minus 2.5 ampere is the current across this 1 ohm resistance, because value of I is minus 2.5. Value of I is minus 2.5. So minus 2.5 ampere is the current across this resistance. So VD2 will be equal to minus 2.5 volt. So VD2 is negative, that's why the diode is off because VD2 is negative and diode is connected from P to N. So the diode is off. So our assumption, we assumed that diode D2 was off. We assumed that diode D2 was off. Here we assume that diode D2 was off. So our assumption for diode D2 is correct. Okay. So our assumption for diode D2 is correct. Our assumptions for diode D3 is also correct. So our assumptions for two diodes are correct till now. Now this ID is 10 ampere minus I. ID will be equal to, I am removing this, ID will be equal to 10 minus I, and I is minus of 2.5, so ID will be equal to 12.5. ID will be equal to 12.5 ampere. So this current ID, this is 12.5 ampere. This current is 12.5 ampere. So the current is flowing in this direction and diode is also connected from P to N in this direction only. So the diode D1 is also on. The diode D1 is on. So our assumption for diode D1 is also correct. So all the assumptions are correct. So now we can by 100% confidence say that diode D1 is on, D2 is off and D3 is also off because all our assumptions are correct. So we have to continue the process till all the assumptions are correct. In the previous case, we considered that diode D2 was on, but that assumptions were wrong. So in the next case, in step 2, we considered that diode D2 was off. And when we considered that diode D2 was off, D1 was on, this assumption was proved correct. So in this way, we can say that the states of the three ideal diodes are D1 on, D2 off and D3 off. I hope this video was clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can post your comment in the comment box and I will solve the doubt. So, and if you have any feedback or any suggestion, then also post your feedback and suggestion or any query related to any topic in the comment box, in the comment section of this video. Thank you and best of luck.